This new intro, my fault. And then we'll go ahead and hop into the video, man. Let's get it. All right, bet, man. So I hope all of you were able to enjoy that, man. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into today's video, guys, man. So look, I hope everybody's doing really well, man. I hope everybody's enjoying the holiday. Thanksgiving just passed. So look, I hope everybody's looking forward to, man, Christmas, man, New Year's. So hope everybody's really excited about that, man. So first and foremost, man, I definitely want to give a shout out, man, to a few people and some things that I've had going on recently. So first off, man, I want to give a shout out to the Candid Restoration Podcast, man, with Kiera and Arlene, man. Their Instagram will be below. As far as for the podcast, please subscribe to them and tell them your boy sent you. I was recently a guest on there, man. Really fun. Really enjoyed it, man. So I hope you guys definitely check that out for sure. For also too, man, I want to give a shout out, man, to the 1409 podcast with KT, man, Guala Meets World, man. I was on there as well too with them boys. Really cool, man. Their IG will be below as well. And also, man, I want to give a shout out, man, to my boy, Soul Chance TV, man. He basically sent me this link, man, to get this new intro for you guys set up. So I hope you guys enjoy it, man. Definitely check it out. And all three of their IGs, man, will be below. Definitely subscribe. Please check out their channels, their podcasts, everything, and let them know your boy sent you. So I was thinking, man, I know it's been a while since I actually posted something. So I was kind of thinking like, well, what could I use? Realistically, what would be a good, kind of topic to discuss? And I was thinking, so I remember I was watching Love Don't Cost a Thing. That's the movie with Nick Cannon and Christina Milian when they were actually dating at that time, I think, whenever they filmed the movie. Pretty much what it's about is the water boy is not very popular, dates a popular girl. He says, hey, like, she wrecks her car, fixes it for 2 weeks, basically the movie's about like some guy who's not really that popular, the guy's little weird friends, pairs to the most popular girl in school. Alvin, Nick Cannon's character, basically helps her out. She wrecks her mom's car. He fixed it. Hey, be my girl for 2 weeks. They ended up being together. So it's a scene in the movie where it had me kind of thinking. And I remember Nick Cannon was pulling up, and he bought, Christina Milian Paris some flowers. And Christina Milian character's like, well, hey, Alvin, you can't buy a woman flowers because, that's a sign of weakness and you look very desperate buying flowers. And that kind of had me thinking like, well, he's being nice. It's a nice gesture. Is that a sign of weakness? Is that a sign of, people not really being able to accept you because, you're being nice. You're trying to be, quote unquote, very receptive of what they're doing. So that kind of made me think. And then I also was, I was in work recently, had a conversation with one of my coworkers, and pretty much what we were talking about was, she was like, yeah, it's this guy I really like. He's so sweet. He's so nice. He kind of checks all the boxes. And, it's just, it's just like, she's just like, yeah, he checks all the boxes, but he's just too nice. And I remember my comment was, well, what you want him to do? Beat your ass? Slap you around, beat your ass a little bit? So kind of chuckle. But it has me thinking, though, from a more serious standpoint, is being nice beneficial? I'll use those two primary examples that I talked about. I don't think it is. I think that being nice, especially if you're trying to, I think, date, hypothetically, I think being nice can be effective, but I think it'll always be like, well, it's too late. Like, what I mean by that is like this, okay? Say I'm dating someone, right? And I try to do nice gestures like, hey, hey, look, let's hang out. Let's do something. I take you out on a date. Like, I'll give you an example. Okay, you go out with this guy. Lady, I'm gonna use that as an example. You go out with somebody, right? They're on time, dress well. Well, I use men as an example because I think men would be easier. So, ladies, man comes on time, picks you up, well dressed, on time, buys you flowers, is nice, pays for the meal, drives you home on time, don't disrespect you, don't call you out your name, says you're very nice, give you all these compliments. Wouldn't you be like, wouldn't you not feel ways or be like, because I've always heard, like I was using that movie example. Isn't me being nice an example of like I'm being desperate? I'm not, I'm desperate. I can't be too nice, because it shows that you're being weak. So is that a sign of weakness? And I feel like that is though, because I've had instances where I've heard from people that, you cheat on me. Well, basically, like if you're being nice to me in a relationship, that means you cheating. If you always giving me gifts, that means you hiding something. Like, why you always so damn nice? Like, I just feel like that, being like nice, honestly, is a weakness because, for the majority of my life, I've heard that, I've been a very nice person and blasey blasey whatever. But I think people have always looked at that maybe as a weakness because you know, I heard this from an older woman I was talking to one time. She was kind of like, the more we tell people that you need to be with this person, stuff like that, it pushes them further away. And I think that kind of being nice sometimes off a rip can kind of push people away. Like Christina Milian was saying in the movie, like, well, you being nice, it seems like you're so desperate and you're needy. And sometimes it could be like a hesitation, like, do I really wanna, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I guess it's kind of like an unknown. It's like we're not expecting you to be this nice off rip. Also too, it can be a situation like it could be that, you know, my coworker thing. Like, yeah, she likes this guy or whatever, he's really cool, but he's too nice and I just think maybe it just draws a lot of red flags. I think, say I wasn't maybe all the way nice, but I did some things that, like maybe I make a mistake or I'm not that nice or that sensitive. I don't think that would push people, that far back because they'd be like, well, that's probably maybe expected. They're not gonna agree with everything, I like. So that could be something that could be, maybe can push some people back. Because I do think being really nice can push people back. I think because mostly it's something that's unexpected. Like I was giving you guys the dating example earlier. Like, you know, like if a guy is nice to you off rip, calls you, like it could just be something to where maybe it's being too nice. And to be honest with you, when it just comes to relationships, communication, like I feel like, yeah, being nice has its perks and stuff, but I feel like a lot of times it's too late for people to recognize that. Like for an example, let's reverse roles. Maybe it's a girl that a guy likes that's really nice and stuff like that. But say for example, you meet a girl that's too nice. Wouldn't that be some red flags? Like, well, you know what? She's really, sweet. Like, man, she's all. Because then the thing with that would be from a man's perspective is like, man, she's kind of very flirtatious. Man, she always nice to people because I do hear that from men, and you kind of think, no, it's like, dang, she always nice to people. Like, man, I don't know, cause she always be so buddy buddy with this person, and it kind of has you thinking in the back of your mind as a guy, like, well, she's always being nice to such, and this person and that person. It kind of has you suspect. Well, what else is going on? And I guess we kind of look for that in between. But I think that could be a thing. Maybe, and then I think it just goes to the unexpected part. Like if you out, right, you offer to take the girl out, but she's like, oh, I'll pay for my bill. You'd be like, well, no, I'm taking, like, it kind of knocks, how Charlemagne the guy talks about the sensitive man ego. That could be an example too, the way your ego's real sensitive. And you like, well, wait a minute. I'm trying to take you out. I'm trying to do things for you. And you telling me you going to pay for you? Like, no, I got it. So it kind of damages our ego. So I just think it's just like kind of different things that we have to look at to where being nice. And I think, yes, being nice can be great and beneficial. Don't get me wrong. But I just think sometimes it kind of pushes people away because I do think, like I was saying, I think Christina Milian character made great points. You're being too nice. You seem real desperate, and I just feel like that that could be an issue, and that's a possibility. And I'm not saying look, it's a bad thing, or whatever, but we've got to be bigger than that as people. Like seriously, I'm not trying to be in any way funny, but we've got to be bigger than that. And I do kind of sometimes feel bad because I think it can be a negative. And I do think that sometimes, like, this is kind of like the biggest thing that I look at as someone who's very nice. It's like, okay, you take my likeness for granted. Like, meaning, like, okay, say for example, right? It shouldn't take 5 Daquans, 2 Tamias, 8 Benjamins, 3 Keishas, 5 Shaniquas for you to recognize whether somebody's nice or not. Like, it'd be like, man, you know what I've been doing hasn't really been nice. Maybe, you know what, I should have talked to that nice girl from 2 years ago. Maybe that nice guy from like a year and a half ago. Maybe things would have been different. And I do think that it is a turnoff because people, I really think sometimes in the back of my mind, I really do think that people really, honestly, and I'm not trying to be funny, I'm not trying to be, I'm being serious, that what Christina Milian character said, people look at people being extremely nice, especially if you're dating, as a sign of weakness. It's a sign of, desperation. You're not getting the adequate attention and things that you may need. So I think all of those things are extremely, extremely huge. And I just think sometimes that we sometimes take it for granted from the woman's perspective. From the man perspective, it can be the fact that you think, because then if you're too nice, you're too flirtatious. You have whole like tendencies, as some people got your thought pocket. You know what I'm saying? So things like that, and maybe it may make people very hesitant because if you're somewhat nice but somewhat mean, like someone in the middle, I think is more beneficial for people, because then you're like, okay, cool, they'll tell people off. Some people being nice. Like, I'll give you guys an example. I remember, I like sometimes I used to live in a town called Lake City, South Carolina, and I remember, man, we would always shoot ball or whatever, right, in the little neighborhood I was at. So we used to pull out the homeboy goal from down the road, we'll shoot, and then we'll ride out or whatever. So, I'll be leaving, heading back, and, you know, I'll get me a drink of water. So out of all the houses on the road, everybody come to mind. It's like, hey man, can I get some water? Man, can I get some water? And I'll be looking like, man, y'all pass by rides. Oh, they'll be like, man, give me some water, bro. Like, but see, I used to do it. So, see, sometimes people just, do that and take advantage of that, but it kind of just depends. So I just think we just got to be harder where we pick and choose our likeness. But I'm kind of trying to stay on track, especially since I'm talking about relationships. But I'm just trying to give you guys an example. And it can be hard. I think it can be, kind of an adjustment for everybody, because it's not easy. It's really not easy being nice. And I think people really do look at that as a weakness, and that's something that people want to take advantage of. So hopefully, sometimes people don't feel like that we're desperate, and really it's out of the kindness of our heart. And I think sometimes that's the biggest thing for me. I just wish more people would look at it like, hey, this is just me being naturally myself, and it's out of the kindness of my heart. So I really think those are really some of the big things that we really have to focus on. But I do think, honestly, behind the scenes, I think people do consider you being nice as desperate and lonely. And I think that we do need to get out of that habit. And I do think we're quick to judge when it comes to nice people. So I hope that us as people, we can overcome that. We'll be able to adjust to that and everything along those lines. So, hey, man, look, I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. So, it's your boy, Mr. Uncut here, man. And I appreciate you guys tuning in to my channel, man. I also got an outro that you guys are going to be looking at really soon after this video as well, too. But hope you guys definitely enjoyed it. My social media and stuff like that be below. I have the podcast as well too, man. The Mr. Uncut 12 podcast. Please check that out, man. And I appreciate all the support, everybody. Hope everybody continues to really enjoy the rest of this month, man. I'll also be having a year review video coming towards the end of the month. It will be dropping December 31st. That's when I will be dropping that video specifically. So please check it out, man. Hope you guys enjoy it. So as far as with me, man, Mr. Uncut, man, I'm signing out. Peace.